So it looks like we got some exclusive tea about the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 filming. They're on a cash trip, and some leaks are coming out about Drew Sidora, her marriage, and a new friend of. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So the last that we reported on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 filming, we gave you a little tea. Shout out to our girl, Tamara Tattles. So now we're hearing, because they're on a cash trip in Blue Ridge, and you've already seen some of the photos and videos from Marlo, Sheree, and Kenya. So we already reported that Kenya and Marlo are having a fallout. They're having a fallout. They unfollowed each other. And I said, these are two titans on the show that are fighting. And it's probably what we need for an interesting season. Because a lot of you have said this season's not going to be good based on the cast of characters. But from what we're hearing, Sonia Richards-Ross is one to watch out for. But Drew is at the center of the drama during this trip. And this is according to sources close to production. Okay. And as always, what we tell you to do, cite our sources. So this time you're going to cite me. So this is what we're hearing. So as I said to you before, Drew Sidora is centered around this story that we're hearing about, and it's her marriage. But before we get to that, this is what the source is telling me. They're saying this. So last night, Marlo called Kenya while they were at dinner and gave Kenya an ultimatum to come and stay there or not come at all. So Kenya arrives the next day unannounced. Marlo tells Kenya she wants to have a private conversation to work on things. But Kenya doesn't want to have a private chat, but one in front of the group. I can literally see Kenya saying this, to be honest with you. I can literally see her saying this. But there is a friend of that's also being kept under wraps, not for much longer. And she is Sheree's friend of, and I know who you guys are thinking. Is it Akon's, one of Akon's wives? Well, not the one that we were thinking. I'm not sure she's not. We'll get to her. But Sheree's friend is on this cash trip, and there's drama between the friend of and Drew. So Sheree's friend is there, according to my source. She's the one that has started a rumor about Ralph, Drew's husband. The rumor is that Ralph is gay? I know, guys. I know. It seems very like, oh, here we go. A gay rumor, blah, 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 blah. The scandal, though, is that the friend of heard this information from Drew's assistant. Is this the same assistant that Drew and the assistant were saying that the prophet and LaToya were having an affair? No confirmation yet on who the assistant is. So Drew is hating on the new friend of. The friend of heard Drew call her a bitch behind her back and goes off on Drew. Drew calls her a, quote, little dog bitch. That sounds so much like Drew, though. Of course she would do little dog bitch. Isn't that the same thing? Isn't it just really bitch? So according to the source, they're saying that Drew calls her a little dog bitch and starts barking at her. But it doesn't stop here. And this is why I believe that this is really true. There's more. Before we get to that part. So the group goes gem mining in Blue Ridge, and things get even crazier during this group outing. Marlo, who seems to be taking on the role of leader in the group, because we saw the first leak that we got from the Real Housewives of Atlanta was that Marlo's own fashion event. So it seems like she's taking the leadership role, which is not good. According to Tamara Tattles, though, Kandi really is playing the role of matriarch this season. And based on what I'm hearing, Kandi's nowhere in sight in regards to the drama. So according to the source, they're saying Marlo calls a family meeting and says that she wants everyone to get along and threatens to call cars for everyone to leave since no one can get along. Marlo and Kenya get into it because, of course, this is Kenya seeing Marlo trying to be the leader of this group when this is her first season as a housewife. I can see it. I'm picturing it. And to be honest with you, I'm interested. Then Drew and the friend of, after Marlo and Kenya get into it, Drew and this friend of gets into it as well. Drew then calls her a little dog bitch again and pulls out dog treats and throws them at her. And guys, I've seen a picture of the dog treat. It's not a dog. It's a big old bone. It's a big old bone. And again, this sounds very much like Drew. We remember what she tried to do, and it really fell on. It was a really bad situation when Drew brings out props because she thinks that it's really smart, and then we're all like, okay, girl. You remember when she brought out the headshot picture of herself, then the wig and the. All right, we remember that. But if Drew is up to her usual reindeer games, then I don't know. But anyways, back to this. So Drew calls the friend of Sheree's friend a little dog bitch again, pulls out dog treats and throws them at her. So as I said to you before, they went gem mining. They were scheduled to go wine tasting, but things got so crazy that they never made it to the wine tasting. But here's the other thing. We just spoke about a COVID exposure situation in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where they had to halt production. Be sure to check that video out. Now we're hearing that an EP allegedly was exposed. There might have been a COVID exposure. So not sure what's going to happen on the set of the Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. So if you hear about them shutting down, so there's a possible COVID exposure from an EP. So they are cutting the trip short and leaving in the morning because they got enough footage. And get this, the next cast trip, according to the source, is Jamaica. I love it. I just love that we're able to actually go on trips now. I think a lot of people were not satisfied with last season, partially because they really couldn't go anywhere or do anything because of the pandemic, even though we did get Bolo, and that was a big storyline for the season. But according to this source, they're saying that the next big cast trip is Jamaica. But who is the friend of? I know we've been speculating. People were thinking light-skinned Keisha. Some people were saying that LaToya Forever was coming back. No, the friend of is Sheree's friend. And there are photos of Sheree and this woman together on her social media. It doesn't mean anything. But according to my source, that's close to production, the friend of is Fatum Alford. She's the mother of two. And on her IG, she says she's from Djibouti, East Africa. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And as I said to you before, she's the mother of two. This is exactly what we want. We want actual housewives and housewives that are interesting. And if she's the one stirring the pot, and I know the rumor is like, okay, are we going to go with another rumor like this? But if Drew's assistant is the one that's saying this information, she might have better knowledge. He or she might have better knowledge. Is that person still her assistant? Is it the same assistant that was talking about Profitgate and recorded the profit? Guys, I had to bring this information to you. Does this make you a little bit more excited for Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14? And if so, why? I'm a little bit more interested. I'm interested to see what's going on with Kenya and Marlo because they always understand the assignment. Again, here's another Real Housewives of Atlanta story where we don't hear anything about Kandi. Again, look, Kandi, we love you. We love what you brought to the show. I love what you've done with your businesses on the show. But I hope that we do get a season, an episode of us transitioning Kandi to the OLG project, which I believe is already done and filmed. This has to be her transition year. But at least she's transitioning to her own show. Guys, I want to know your thoughts. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.